Hello, everyone. How are we doing? Hello. Okay, so let's talk about how to find the right social media platform. Well, the very first thing, and probably the most important thing, is to look at each individual platform's target market. Believe it or not, every single platform has its own reason, has its own target market, right? If they didn't, they wouldn't succeed, right? And what I mean by that is that there is obviously each platform, rather each successful platform, has its own gap in the market, right? It has its own reason. It has its own reason why people like to use it. And precisely the question that you want to ask is what kind of people like to use it. So for example, TikTok versus Facebook. Facebook historically has a slightly older age range than perhaps TikTok does, right? The same with Instagram. Instagram is really, I would say, made for those who are really into creative aesthetics and pictures and being a bit more front facing, I'd say. But again, it's really important for you guys to actually go into the individual target markets, the audiences that these platforms attract themselves. Okay. Let me know. Do you think your target market is on the platform that you are using? And a great way to kind of look into that is look at, so for example, on Instagram, if you've got a professional account, you have the little insights tab. Have a little look in that, because sometimes you can look at that versus Pinterest, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, LinkedIn, whatever. And you can actually visually see that the target market is very different on each platform. So that is one really important thing, is to just make sure that the people you are trying to reach are on the platform. That's the first question. The second question is, do you like using it? Let me tell you that if you are using a platform that you don't like, you won't succeed on it. The reason being is that you will probably do everything within your power to avoid posting on it because you naturally don't really like it. So again, for me, TikTok is not really my vibe, even though I do a lot of lives, a lot of like video content, a lot of like YouTube shorts, a lot of reels. Like historically speaking, TikTok should be the perfect platform. But for me, I'm like, my target audience is not really on there. I find it very like in your face and I don't really enjoy using it. So I'm not going to force myself really to use a platform that I hate. Honestly, guys, you only really need one social media platform to get to the six-figure mark. Like, honestly, trust me when I say that you do not need to be on 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You only really need to truly master one. And that is a bit of advice that I will always say when I work with people. And again, they're like, oh, I post on Instagram, and then I post on Facebook, and then I do this. And I'm like, you just need one. Like, seriously, I know it sounds bizarre because you've probably been told the more platforms you're on, the more people you're going to reach. Chances are, like, it's the same group of people that are going across, like, that are on Instagram and maybe follow you on Facebook and follow you here and there and wherever else. But you really only need one. The next question to find what your perfect platform is can you schedule to it in an easy way, and does it fit in with your life? And this is where for me Instagram wins, because the Instagram app, although it can be super buggy, it is something that I can quickly open, snap a little pic, story, video, whatever, go live, do a reel, and I'm done. Like, that is literally it. I'm done, dusted. It fits in with my lifestyle. The thing with Pinterest is that, like, personally, I find it's like a more of a sit down, plan it out, schedule things out a month or two ahead of time. And like what lots of people said, I find that the platforms that are more intuitive like that work better for me. But you might be the kind of person that doesn't want to be on social media every day snapping stories and things, and you might like the sit down and plan out approach, So it's really about looking at when am I going to actually use this? Is it going to be on the fly every day, or is it going to be something like I said, where you sit down and you plan it out? And does that fit into the way that you currently work? And for every single one of you who are like, I know I should be doing X, Y, Z, but I procrastinate. Actually, look at that and ask yourself, is it because I need to be on it, or is it just because I don't really want to do the work? Like, I don't really want to be on it. I don't really want to do it. I don't really get it. It doesn't fit in with my life. It's a bit like, I guess, when you start to exercise, right? You might start off going for runs, going for swims, doing, I know, lifting weights and blah, 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 blah. But a couple of weeks down the line, your steam is like naturally burnt out, and you're like, oh, I don't want to do this anymore. It's just rubbish, and blah, blah, blah. And then you start to miss them, and then you go, oh, I've been like a week without going, and da, 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 da. Whereas if you start slow, maybe like a 10-minute walk a day for 2 weeks, and then a 20-minute walk a day for another 2 weeks, that is so much more of a sustainable way to do things, So the last question is, what are your goals with social media? Now, for a lot of you, that could be sales. For a lot of you, that could be engagement. And for a lot of you, that could be brand awareness. Those are the three kind of main goals. And what I would urge you to do is that if you are quite new, let's say, in being consistent on socials, your goal straight away should not be, I need to get sales from day one. It's a bit like rocking up to a date that you've kind of spoken to on and off for maybe like 6 months. Then you like rock up to the date in a wedding dress. Like, it's that kind of vibe where you're like, maybe a bit soon. Maybe we need to like work the room a little bit first. Maybe we need to like go on a few dates before we head down that road, So it's very much like, really, you have to nurture the audience that you have. So if you are consistent, then great, we can go straight into that sales goal. If you aren't, it's definitely something that you have to work on. I just really wanted to get you guys to start to think about social media not as, I need to be on everything. The more things I'm on, the more people I'm going to get, and actually look at, okay, what is going to work for me? What is going to work for my business? And what is going to work for the goals that I have? Because each goal, really, again, you should be linking that back to the platform that you are using. So, for example, Pinterest, right? If you're looking for engagement and growing your brand, might not be the platform for you. If that is your main overarching goal, might not work. However, if, for example, you want to get the conversation going, you want to engage with different people, you want to start conversations with them, then Instagram might be more your bag. Okay. So definitely looking at, what are your goals, and does that platform fit into the kind of goals that you have?